This is going to burst a lot of your bubbles, but you know it's true. When Reagan became president, the first thing he started doing was downsizing the government. He started selling to corporations the job that the government was doing. He turned our military into a capitalist corporate military. The United States has a capitalist corporate military designed to make money. Now, I've told you all this in previous videos. The capitalist corporate military downsizes. It doesn't invest in new technologies because that costs money and it takes away from profit. The more people you have in the military decreases the profit also. We have a capitalist corporate military. And I've said this in previous videos. The corporations, during the time of Reagan, they felt that the oceans were a good defense. The oceans were a good defense. No one can reach us. We can keep all the fighting over there because no one can reach us. That was the defense. It was cheap because the oceans were there. So all we need to do is a little Star Wars system, be able to shoot down a few rockets that make it here, and that's all we need, save money. So what was the defense? Sanctions. Sanctions were the defense. So we're not going to create any new technology. We're not going to improve anything. All we're going to do is put sanctions on people so they do not have the money to invest in technology. That's our defense. We hold people down. It's cheaper that way. We sell them. When our equipment get old, we sell it to them. And that's what we've been selling Ukraine. Junk. Junk. Britain fell into the game, and their navy, their ships were running into each other, trying to get out of port, and they were breaking down. The EU, they went with the United States program. The United States is a world power. We're going to cut back on military spending too to make for profit maximization. And when the United States sells other countries weapons, the money stays in the United States because we sell them our weapons. So when Congress approves anything, any kind of spending, the money stays here and we give them whatever we want to give them. And we're definitely not going to give them something that they can use to defeat us. That is a capitalist corporate strategy designed to make money and to defend the country as cheaply as possible. Well, they didn't take into consideration the black market. They didn't take into consideration the black market. And you can't control how a country spends its money anyway. You can't control that with sanctions. You sanction North Korea, got one of the biggest militaries in the world, and they've been sanctioned for how many years? Iran's been sanctioned. They done built their military. Russia sanctioned, built their military. China sanctioned, built their military. And another thing about the United States, the only thing, we have a capitalist corporate military. So what do? What no other country in the world would do. We put 800 bases all over the world. We got 800 bases all over the world with about 1,000 or so, or a few more, a few less soldiers on those bases all over the world. They are sitting ducks and cannot defend themselves. No military in the world would take all their apples and spread them out all over the world. Now, if World War III breaks out, they're going to bomb those bases that cannot defend themselves. Those bases can't even defend themselves from the public. You got about 1,000 men, and you got these countries, they got, what happened? A riot would take them out. A riot would take them out. Doesn't make any sense. But see, the purpose, our military was being used to colonize and control. Our military was a capitalist corporate military designed to downsize, save money, control, and defeat democratically elected people who did not serve the interests of the United States. That game is over. Russia ended it. BRICS buried it. I'm going to tell you what Russia does. Russia, their military is state-ran. State-ran, designed to kick ass. If a tank gets damaged on the field, Russia has garages off of the front lines, and they repair the tank miles away from the battlefield, fix it, and get it back out there. Russia buys iron, steel, unprocessed. They take the steel, comes into the company, the rocks that they make the steel out comes into the company. Then they take those rocks and make the steel out of the rocks. And then they produce the weapons from the steel that they made from the rocks. The whole process. And they have to take, and every time they make something, they're trying to improve the technology. And they're always trying to improve the technology. They don't care about the money. It's not a for-profit enterprise. It is an enterprise for war. This is why Russia is winning in the Ukraine, and they control 20% of the territory. And we've been fighting NATO there, period. And when NATO brought some troops in, before the troops could get to the hotel room where they were staying at to train people, Russia bombed them. Then I was reading on one of these sites, one of these video makers, I forgot what you call them. Anyway, he was talking about, yeah, the United States got a secret weapon. They're giving the Ukraine long-range missiles. And Ukraine shot off a long-range missile. Guess what? If you shoot off one missile, Russia gonna shoot it down. If you want to hit, they have missiles designed to take missiles out. So you got to at least shoot about 300 or 400 of them because they're going to take out a bunch of them. If you want one or two to get through, you got to shoot about 300 or 400, which is what Iran did to Israel. Because Israel thought nobody could get through the Iron Dome. Well, Iran proved that the Iron Dome does not work. And then you can fly drones that cost $500 to $2,000 into Israel, and they have to shoot them down with missiles that cost $1.3 million or more. So, and when that last attack, when Iran attacked them with them 300, probably cost them about no more than $50,000. It cost Israel $1.3 billion. Yeah, $1.3 billion to defend themselves. And guess what? 5 of them got through. And they weren't even the best missiles that Iran had. So Israel faked a little attack back for propaganda purposes to say, yeah, we did this, we did that. It didn't do nothing. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of you are going to disagree with me. But the reality of the situation is those who have been keeping up know that I'm telling the truth. Because information is like this. It's like you walk into a movie, right? You walk into a movie. You got to get there on time to know what's going on in the movie. You can't get there 10 minutes after the movie starts and think you know what's going on in the movie. And the later you get there, the less you know about what's going on in the movie. So you can't just cut on, listen to a 5 or 10 minute news thing and then think you know what's going on, because you don't. You got to get there at the beginning. And I told everyone at the beginning that there's no way in the world Ukraine can defeat Russia. For one, they can't get it. They don't have a supply line. Russia got a supply line. So they can easily put weapons back on the front line. Plus, Russia has, I think it's 150 million people. What do Ukraine have? 20, 30? And you're going to beat Russia? Are you out of your mind? And I told you about Israel. They are surrounded. They got Hezbollah in the north, beating the hell out of them. They got Hamas in the south. They got the Houthis in the Red Sea. And then you want to start some stuff with Iran too. Now you all surrounded. You got Hezbollah, Houthis, Hamas, and now you got Iran. And they can hit you with long-range missiles. Israel can't win that if you surround it. And now the United States, and they're talking about a nuclear attack. I'm going to tell you this, with these new supersonic missiles that they have now, let the United States try to set off a nuclear warhead. Guess what? They're going to intercept that thing before it gets over here, before it gets over there. And they may knock it out before it clears the United States, depending on where they launch it. This is not 1980. This is 2024. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later. Be mad if you want to. All I'm going to do is delete you. unless you have some facts. Because if you got some facts, then I want to hear 'em. Talk to you later.